It's the final percent. The final percent.
All right, this is the Final Percent podcast, and I have two unbelievable, incredible, amazing guests with me, Ben and Natalia Harris. Thank you guys so much for coming on to the Final Percent podcast.
Hey, thanks for having us. I love that intro too. You got us hyped. Nice. Let's go.
Well, I mean, it's if anyone spends 4 seconds with Ben, they get hype. I mean, that's you don't have a choice. I thought about it and I just got goosebumps. Like anytime he's so positive. You have transcended so many things, and I don't want to necessarily just say, hey, I've transcended adversity, but it's like where you find yourself. It's like, I remember, and just to give a little bit of context, Ben and I, we found each other as fellow musicians back when he was called Old Green Eyes.
That's right.
And way back in the day. And it's just crazy. I remember us struggling and trying to figure out how in the heck are we going to record? Where are we going to record? Putting people in like weird bedrooms and a mattress up for the acoustics and all of that stuff so that we could sing. But, we fast forward. Somehow you're traveling the world with Terry Fator, one of the highest paid entertainers in the world, private jets. You're at a residency in Las Vegas, How did that happen? Like, you're just always exactly where you need to be. So just kind of walk me through that part and help us understand how we go from, I have no idea how we're going to, can we even afford ramen to, let's just jet set over to, another country. Come on, man.
Yeah. So basically, the song that we're going to be doing and performing at the summit is going to be Right Track. Because I don't know where I'm going, but know exactly where I'm heading. So even though that might be not doing what people are saying you're supposed to do, in my mind, I know I'm going on the right track, even if I'm learning more outside and in between the classes at ASU than actually in the classes getting my broadcasting degree. I knew what I wanted to do. So I kept doing that, even though if someone was telling me not to. And then when you talked about where are we going to record, obviously Greg got the best studio in Arizona. So I was like hiding in rooms, every room. You didn't have to hide, man. You should see all the microphones, all the equipment. You see right here behind him. He's always had it like this. Yeah. So always envious of that and always happy to work with you. But yeah, so I was doing my thing. Old Green Eyes. We were talking about Woody. Shout out Woody, Dax, and everything I was doing. Psych. I had my whole crew on campus. Then we put out an EP. It was just like 7 songs, then started performing that around campus. And then I was almost like the logo of ASU. You saw Old Green, no matter where you were going, I'm in front of the MU.
I'm telling you, if you are a teenager right now and you have like that story playing in your head on college is going to be awesome, you're basically wishing that you follow in Ben's footsteps. He really was that guy. You were a Degrassi commercial for ASU. You like belonged on Disney, man. It was on.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't pass up any opportunities. No matter all the football parties, I was freestyling and battling in the snipers. If I'm just walking, I see a sniper, I'm running up, jumping in, battling, rhyming all fast like Twista, doing my thing. Then that led to Zoe Bowie getting a deal out here at the Red Rock. Shout out Zoe Bowie. He was performing at Barcelona. Then we put together a band to replace him. Then
I totally forgot about Zoe Bowie. Holy crap.
He's out here doing his thing for sure.
He's still doing his thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's the homie out here. So then right as I graduated, I'm supposed to be sending out my little tapes to do news reporting in these small towns I didn't want to do. I'm writing down the wrong address on purpose, make sure it doesn't get there. And then right as my dad's saying, what are you going to do? Old Green is dead. I get a deal, and Old Green is back live at the Barcelona on stage, jumping around, bringing that energy. I was just rapping and stuff, and then I became a straight up entertainer, singing, dancing, doing whatever. Then that I came to Vegas. We got a deal out here at Stations Casinos. And then literally that same year, I auditioned for Terry Fator, who just won. So then we did the entire run at the Mirage together, the full 11 years.
Wow.
And, shout out Terry Fator. He's a great guy too. We're great friends. So and then I just keep going, and now we jumped right into the real estate. Now we're gonna be doing the keynotes with you, and then we just keep going and going.
It just keeps going. Okay, so because you and I are kind of cut from the same cloth. We get so excited. We want to run. We want to jump off the cliff, build the plane on the way down. Why don't you tell me how important the person sitting next to you is on being able to achieve anything in crazy, eccentric musicians like us? Tell me how important it is having, the right person by your side.
The most important, yeah, for sure. I couldn't do it without her. And talk about a hustler. While I was over here at the broadcasting school, she was over at the W.P. Carey Business School handling her business. So if you could picture the yin and the yang right here, it's a perfect match, because I'm just over here not a straight schedule, just performing, doing my thing and hustling, while she's like straight to everything that I'm missing. Then I got everything she might be missing, which is nothing. Just if there was anything, then we come together and handle the business.
I love that.
Yeah, she started her own salon. She had her own clothing line. She had her own place at 18 while I'm staying in the dorm. She was already making equity. We're literally listing that in Scottsdale right now, about to make the money off of that.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, you're business minded right here.
So Natalia, take me through your, from hanging out at Barcelona, getting your hustle on, going through the W.P. Carey School, which is a very famous business school, all the way to I'm going to open my own shop, all the way to oops, I'm just going to take over real estate.
Well, I've always been interested in real estate. Like anyone that knows me, like I'm kind of a preacher of owning real estate and not renting. So probably to an annoying extent, but I had my license in Arizona. Like Ben said, I bought my place at 18, but I was going to school for marketing. So I kind of, took a detour. And when we moved to Vegas, I did 10 years of nightlife marketing. It was cool because, I got to run a multi-million-dollar media buy for some of the biggest nightlife and daylife venues, working with, huge artists, but it was one of those like 24 hours a day, coolest jobs ever. But after 10 years, you're like, I can't, take it anymore, and a son later. Yeah. So I kind of, I used the knowledge I gained from there, because I got to experience opening venues from start to finish, various lounges, restaurants, clubs, and I got to see the process, how it's done by the best. So I just kind of used that to create my own little girly world, which is Glam Parlor.
That's so great.
It was, in our own neighborhood where we live, which is Southern Highlands, and nothing like that existed for us ladies. So I just kind of used my, 10 years of marketing from nightlife and put that into an experiential salon.
That's
and
so
then,
cool.
Yeah, but real estate's something I've always wanted to be interested in. And obviously I don't myself do lashes, or I'm not an esthetician. So the salon for me was more of like a project, to create a brand. And then from there, when COVID hit, Ben and I kind of got together and thought about what we're both good at. And, it's making people, caring about people, what they actually want, listening to their needs. For us, it's not about I never wanted to sell real estate. I know Ben never wanted to sell things to anyone either. It's more about making people feel good. Yeah. So for us, it's that's kind of our mentality on it, is we're here to create relationships and, create opportunities for people that are right for them, and, help them find opportunities that other realtors won't find for them. So that's you can definitely tell who the brains behind the project is. But I couldn't go without him. That's what the customers, all our clients, they love that. They love that together, we take care of all their needs. I might be in a corner looking mean and boring because I'm doing paperwork and trying to get them a good deal, while he's actually appreciating the home and showing them, all the awesome features, and, engaging them and listening to what their needs are. Because sometimes later he'll come over and be like, oh my gosh, this is something that's really important to them, and they really like we got to make sure that this is what we're looking for. So he's kind of the ears and the heart.
Yeah, I'm the cute person complimenting the fly shoes, the fly outfits, wash it, everything, haircuts, making them feel good. Because what I prided myself in with Terry is uplifting souls and making the crowd feel good. So when I playing walk-in music, I had the pleasure of individually, each person I walked in, I'm talking to them. I call myself the king of small talk. I could talk about anything, even if they didn't want to be talked to and they're annoyed. Like, why is he talking to me? By the end, we're best friends, and they leave, and then we could continue to be friends through social media. I don't even know where they live around the country. I just know I have friends everywhere. So then I take the individual love and care to each client, and they can feel it, but I'm not even being fake. One of our favorite quotes is, I'm showing the client that got this $3 million home down the street over in Southern Highlands. And I'm like telling him about how good it is. You're going to love this because you love golf. This is the best golf course. He's like, oh, I see how it is. Ben's the closer. And I'm like, closer? I don't even know how to close. Like, I come from entertainment. I don't even know what that means. He's like, oh, you're good. And I'm like, good. What are you talking about? But okay, because they don't even believe it. They like don't think you can be in real estate and not be like a car salesman or something like that. But I'm so far from that. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. They're telling us, and I'm just making them feel good. I
think that's one of like your superpowers, and you've literally done it your whole life. Where like, and for anyone who meets Ben, if you go and just I'm going to shout this out a few times. If you go to benandnatalia.com, you're going to be able to experience more about what they do, their brand, and different things. But Ben, when he's saying he actually really cares, like the king of small talk, he's not doing that as an angle. He like actually wants to know how your day was. He wants to know, how can I help? He wants to actually know you. He is like one of the best connectors and dot connectors. I mean, that's something, you know, I've talked a lot about. Young entrepreneurs get into the bad habit of being a contact hoarder. They say, okay, I've got these people and, you know, we can meet at a Starbucks, but then right when someone asks for someone else's number, they're like, oh no, I'll do an email introduction. Like, don't grab his number. Like, I'll do the setup, because they want to control the information. And I mean, Ben's always like, you should talk to this person and you should talk to this person. And and actually you could talk to this person and this person. And he'll like, pretty soon you've got a whole network that you didn't even know existed. And he just truly wants to help. And I think why you said we know people everywhere, and it's because people who connect always stay connected. So if you connect A to B, and you're just like the side person who did the dot connecting, you're always going to be connected to both of those people. And that's what young entrepreneurs don't get. They're always thinking that we're a crab in a barrel. And if I help you, somehow that means I'm going to lose, which it's so sad. And I was guilty of it when I was younger. And I was like, oh, but if I do that, or if I help that person, like hit that note, or if I help that person, I'm going to just purposely mix this song a little bit quieter than mine, just so that if they're played back to back, mine hits harder. You know, you can't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's so great to watch you guys, you know, take all of these steps, because you really are conquering and taking control of your own destiny. So let's start down the just because I'm actually interested. As you guys know, Kayla is 6 months pregnant right now.
Yeah,
what is it like when you're a team like you guys are? You're entrepreneurs to the max. Baby shows up. Give me some baby stories about, you know, having to fight those battles.
Oh man, you should start with pumping the milk in the office.
Yeah, I mean, life's upside down. Like, you know, it's just one of those things. Like, we both, I think, have to work and have to be out there and doing things. And for me, I wanted, you know, I had to have a balance of what I felt was my version of being a good mom. So like for me, I was like, okay, well, I have to at least be like breastfeeding and pumping. Like, I'm not going to give that up even if I go back to work. So I got like a car pump, and I would be like, you know, walking in Rick Ross into the red carpet, and then like running to the car to like pump milk in the car in my like little plug, and then leaving it, and then like coming back in, just because that was, you know, what my option was. So it's definitely life changing, but you figure out your new normal. So for a while, my normal was pumping all over town.
Well, just so you guys know, she's maybe one of, you know, only one person on planet Earth that can say I walked Rick Ross down the red carpet and then ran to pump for the little one.
Yeah, sometimes it's the last minute.
You can absolutely, if you guys watch this on my YouTube channel and watch the video, that legitimately made me cry. I had to wipe the tears. I was laughing so hard. That was great. All right, Ben, you give me your best little man story.
Okay, so yeah, mine's not like like that. Mine's more like, oh man, I really got to do this. So it worked out. I had the gig with Terry in Hawaii of all places, and so I was there in the hospital and everything. But the day Gavin was born, I'm like, oh, this is great. I got the pictures and everything. And then like the show was the next day, and I had to leave to Hawaii. and go perform. But I was there for the birth and everything, but I kind of just felt like I left them hanging. And then everyone's like, oh, what's up, new dad? Welcome to Hawaii. And I'm over here partying on the island.
I'm like, you better not be having fun.
She's still in the hospital. So I'm like posing on the beach like I couldn't be extremely happy. You know, I'm just like, it's cool, but I wish I was back in the hospital. And then we weren't taking pictures, I was turning up. But it all worked out. That's why this all meant to happen with the real estate and doing my own music and sync licensing, because now I can control my own schedule. But I got it in with Terry. It was so much fun. But now I don't have to worry about missing a birthday or something important like that.
But
luckily,
cool.
I never did. The schedule's always worked out. I'd be home right for his birthday, and then I'd be right back out.
That's so perfect. All right, give me your guys' best COVID story, like when COVID was really hitting. One of my favorites, you know, and if you haven't seen this, you guys did a song together.
I was about to say that the best COVID story, if I'm gonna be stuck, I'm so glad it's with you.
That was like one of those things that would probably never, ever, ever happen if it wasn't for COVID, like ever.
Yeah, picked up by news, like a bunch of different news places.
Shout out Las Vegas, every media outlet in Las Vegas. Literally, we went through the line. We're like, wow, we hit every single one.
Accidentally got big for a second locally.
That's so cool, though.
But it really happened organically, and you know, of all people, how cool it is to hear yourself live with all your plugins and while you're mixing. So I was really just like, oh, you got to come in here now that you're not rushing to walk Rick Ross in or anything because no one's performing. You come in here and you got to hear your voice on here. I just literally just pulled up the first beat and was like, it was meant to hear her just sound crazy. And then she's like, oh, has anyone made a song since we're stuck? I'm so glad it's with you. And I just recorded it just as she said it behind me. And I was like this. And then that take was the take on there. Then I'm like, wow, if we're going to be together, you should have a verse. She's like, I don't sing or nothing. I was like, oh, let me go to work with these plugins. Shout out Antares. And then, So then, like, since I love writing for other people, I just love songwriting in general. I kind of put myself in her stilettos. And I was just thinking of what she would say. So I recorded a whole verse. Then she came in and just recorded it over me, put her own personality into it. And I mixed it. And she's like, that's me? I was like, sure is. So then we released it. It's on the radio out here. We shot the music video. I actually edited the music video, which took forever. And right here in the studio. So that what you see in the video is where it was recorded and everything.
And it's cool because it like wasn't for anyone else. It was like literally we were at home. You know, everyone was trying to figure out ways to entertain themselves. Like this happened, and then like it just kind of like. We just like kept going with it. It was just like one thing. Oh, here's another thing to do now. We can like shoot a video for it.
It slaps though, and it is available on all streaming platforms and on my latest album, so it's out there.
Yeah,
that's so cool. Like, just all right. So let's talk a little bit about that. You guys, I think you guys have the best COVID story. It's not even close either. Let's talk a little bit about. You guys have been married for a decade, 10 years. And, you know, you guys, I don't even know how, like, to say this, but, you know, America kind of sucks at marriage. Let's just be honest. It seems like everyone's like, oh, you made it past year one? Dude, let's go have another 100. Do you want to renew your vows while you're still going?
For real.
But, I mean, it seems like you guys are just getting better and better, stronger and stronger. Tell me, and especially the audience, because so many people, I think, kind of switched gears in their mind on what was possible. And they said, you know, maybe I can do this thing called self-employed, or maybe I could be an entrepreneur, maybe I could do that. And more people are trying to work with their spouse. What are some of your guys' secrets? Give me one from each of you on how, you know, 10 years of marriage works when both of you are absolute entrepreneurs, both of you are performers, both of you have these incredible brains, execution. How do we keep it on the right track?
Wait till you see that performance. So I'll go first just before I forget. So I would say each person has their thing. So then the other person's the biggest cheerleader. Then you don't start getting jealous or anything. And mine's music. Not like we sat down, what's going to be my thing? Just like before we even met, it was our thing. So then she's always the one hey, listen to this mix. Did I say this or this? Or at front row at the show or promoting and knowing that that's your thing and I got you. Then she has her thing, the salon and her business and all that. She's great with numbers and all that type of thing. Then I just support that. Like, what do you need? You need me to hang this, fix the doorknob? What do you need? This is your thing. I'm your cheerleader. So then when it came together with the real estate, we're like, wow, we've always been supporting each other's things. We've never just went all in on our thing. And that's why now within our thing, we each have our roles. You know, I'm good with people. I'm making people feel good. She's like doing the numbers, the negotiator. You know, don't get it twisted. She's the one at the car dealerships making the deal. They talk to me when she's the one going in on the negotiations.
I feel like you're under the table.
Yeah, so then we find our roles. And a lot. I'll just usually leave. Like, never mind, I'm messing this up. I'm getting too excited. Like, actually, I don't like the car anymore. I just realized. So yeah, that's what it is. And now with it's funny because our broker's name is Synergy Sotheby's, but Synergy is really what it is, working together and then creating an even bigger thing together that you couldn't do individually.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Natalia?
I think honestly, it's like being able to just like get over stuff. Like when you work together, if it's something small or insignificant, you know, especially if it's something that's not about like your relationship, but it's like work related. Yeah. I think it's like not hanging on to stuff, because at the end of the day, like we have so much fun working together. And it's like, if you get hung up on stuff and can't like move on from it, then it takes away from that. So I think we're really good at, if an issue comes up, talking about it, dealing with it, and then moving on. Yeah, and we have a good routine. And we didn't even realize this is what this was good for, but we do it every night. We'll just sing songs with our son before bed. And, you know, we'll do like the Barney song, I love you, you love me. But there is that moment. We could have been arguing, but like with the great big hug and a kiss from me to you, we can't fake it. And then like finally we all hug. And then like, okay, everything's squashed. You know, sometimes we might be arguing, I try to go one arm hug. And then Gavin's like, group hug. We're like, you're right. Whatever it wasn't that important. And we're good for the night. And that just came on accident because he just liked singing the songs. But now it kind of like makes every night good. Yeah, I think people's expectations of like, oh, this isn't 100% perfect. Like, I need to find something else. It's like, if you think about it, like you're going to argue with your mom, you're going to argue with your brother and sister, you're going to argue with anyone that you actually care enough to argue with. Absolutely. Sometimes. So as long as like you're not doing each other wrong and it's not actual like real issues you're arguing about, you know, if it's like, you know, who left something on the counter, then you move on from it. Like, it's probably Ben. It was definitely actually, I'm not gonna lie. That is so. And we're all about the abundance mindset. I meant to say that earlier when you're talking about how doing someone's mix a little low. You know, I used to be like that too, especially in Arizona. Be like, we're the best.
Arizona. One thing I learned about Arizona is it's maybe the worst place for music, and here's why. Because all of the people who couldn't make it in LA moved to Scottsdale. And I call it the land of $30,000 millionaires. It's the people, like you got the 20 people in the nice house and all of them are leased BMWs and they're like in this facade thing. And it just feels like a crab in a barrel. And unfortunately, Denver's a little bit like that. Obviously not the direct people from LA, but it's just, I find it in all the C markets. Like Phoenix is a C market. Denver's a C market, and then you have your B markets, which are like a little bit of a Seattle. Nashville is sometimes a B or an A market, but your A markets are like Miami, LA, New York, and then B markets are like Austin and all those places, and then all these other C markets that think they're B markets. And that's when you get into that crab in a barrel, and that's why Las Vegas is so cool, because it's like its own market, because you get all the biggest entertainers in the world there. It's growing like crazy. It's like it has like all the benefits of Phoenix with all of the crap kind of taken away, if you will. So I think it's cool, and then especially with you guys understanding the entertainment side, with, you know, because that's big in Vegas, and being in that scene, and then being able to take it into that business side of things. It's just like you guys are like in the perfect place for you. It's like, you guys are gonna own Las Vegas at some point. That's Ben and Natalia's hotel. It's coming. It's happening.
But that's what with the abundance mindset. So in Arizona, you know, we'd be at shows, we'd do our thing, then we'd be like, get away from the crowd. And then they're saying, make some noise. We'd be like, I'm not gonna make more noise than we made during you didn't make noise when I said make noise, so I'm not gonna make noise. But out here now I've been learning, or just the last 10 years, now I'll make it a point to go to the crowd, stand right in front, show them the most love. They're like, man, what's this dude showing so much love and not asking to get on there, nothing. Then they remember and like, I'm really showing love. You know, I'm making up for all the times I was hating back in the day. So I just show up to anywhere I can, not even asking to perform or nothing, just so they see my face, showing love. Then when it comes, they're looking for performers, then I get on stage and show love to all the other performers. I make it that my goal. And then the abundance is way better than the scarcity, then everyone wins.
And the same thing in real estate actually too, because we shocked a lot of people in the beginning, because we actually like to have relationships with other luxury realtors, and we're actually like to, you know, share information and work together to help each of us be better, you know, realtors to our clients. And part of that is actually communicating with each other. Like there's so many people that, you know, kind of like you guys were saying, don't have the abundance mindset, and more like, if I communicate with you and talk to you, then you're gonna, you know, win somehow over me. Versus right now, some of our biggest deals have come from the fact that we are, you know, that we do have good relationships with these other realtors. And because of that, we kind of know what they might need sometimes, and they know, you know, what kind of clients we have, that when the time is right, like, you know, happened in this situation, we had the, you know, right client in the right house at the right time.
Yep.
So,
And I think, you know, probably about 8 years ago is when I started making that shift. It's just, and for anybody listening, you guys, I cannot stress this enough. You think that you need to be on an island. You think you need to be the self-made entrepreneur. Number one, there's no such thing as any self-made human. You were built from the books you've read, the experiences, the network, the conversations. You're not self-made. I'm sorry to break it to you. Just get over yourself. And then also, like, literally clap when anybody does anything, because at least they're trying, at least they're taking action, and just show, like, literally, if you switch into that abundance mentality, it like comes back, like, when not even tenfold, it's like 100-fold. It's fantastic. Happens.
There's opportunity. There's enough opportunities for everyone out there.
And it even works out not just showing love, but maybe working really hard when maybe someone else be like, why are you doing that? Or like, that's below you. But when you know inside, that's what I'm talking about. You know where you're going, you know where you're headed, then it pays off. And that's literally just what happened. We went in to fill up one of our clients' house for a high-end rental, but it was so last minute. It was just us all week. Finding stuff, moving stuff, moving all this stuff that I wouldn't usually never do. And then people be like, why are you doing all that? You know, you too fancy to be doing that. And we didn't even know what the payoff was, but then the agent was so excited we pulled it off. Then we're able to pocket list this $11 million listing that we're getting ready for right now. And that only became because we pulled that off. But at the time, we didn't even know what we were doing it for. We just knew we had to prove it to ourselves for something the day after.
You guys go the final percent.
Exactly. That's exactly why the final percent.
You guys don't go 90%. You don't go 95%. If you've got it in your tank, you're giving it to your client. You're giving it to the marriage, the family. I mean, you guys are like couples goals for so many people out there. And I think that, like I said, Mark, 3 to 5 years, we are going to collide on so many stages across the world. Because I love my marriage with Kayla. I see a lot of similarities. If I've learned anything off of this call, one thing that's going to happen is our families are going to have to take a lot of vacations together.
For sure.
It's not non-negotiable, but
with the studio too, we'll bring that with us.
I always have a studio with me. You know.
Okay, I was gonna say, I know that.
I just recorded a whole song with my parents in my camper, and I had like a nice studio. Yeah.
Sure.
But that's the thing. I think that more people need to see couples winning together. Couples clapping for each other, and couples taking a chance on and with each other. And it's just, more couples need to emerge so that other people can know what's possible. Because a lot of people don't know what they don't know. And when they see you guys out there crushing real estate together, especially like all your great little like impromptu photo shoots in the different houses, they're fantastic, by the way. Keep that.
Gotta do it.
And it's really inspiring. And one thing that I've learned, because all of the people out there who have these dreams, they are still a little bit in the scarcity mentality. So you guys having the courage to put yourself out there, is giving someone else courage right now to where they're going to take a chance on their dreams. And they might be in Michigan, they might be in New Hampshire, they might be, who knows, but you're going to change the entire trajectory of the way they do business, their family, and all the lives they touch because of your principles. And it's just, you guys, I'm telling you, it's with what you've built right now. And I know, because I can see the potential, you guys are just getting started and you're already goals. So I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. And in both of these guys are going to be live and in person at the CFP Summit. So you can ask them questions. What happens like when this person gets on your nerves? How do you not, like do mean things to them when they're sleeping? Like all the couples are going to ask questions. Kayla and I get some of the funniest questions. Like, have you ever thought about doing this to Greg when he's sleeping? And she's like, no, that's a little weird. But, couples are out there. They just need to know that it's possible. And they're going to talk everything from what we did, but just like the very Ben and Natalia version, real estate, entrepreneurship, family, business, and then Ben and I are accidentally just going to destroy the stage and light it on fire.
Had to do it.
So he's going to send over that song. I'm gonna get my part on that done, called Right Track. And it's going to be
one of my favorites, actually.
It's going to be an amazing album. So guys, thank you guys so much. And again, guys, we've got Ben Harris at Ben Harris for Instagram, right?
Yeah.
We've got Natalia Harris on Instagram. And then if you want to get connected with these guys, do you guys have some sort of like mailing list if they go to your website?
Yep, benandnatalia.com.
And they can search the MLS
right on the site.
So guys, these are the real deal. They actually care. And they really are all about that wow factor. And they are 100% the final percent certified. So I'm telling you guys, if you want to take your real estate game to the next level and get connected with the right people, these are the people for you. So get with them, get in contact. And if nothing else, go to Glam Parlor, start, getting ready to go out into that Vegas nightlife, because I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not trying to be a hater, but some of y'all need a little bit of help. Glam Parlor and just get in there, because it is the best of the best of the best. And just these guys are great. Go have some small talk with Ben and just experience what that's like, because I'm telling you, it's life-changing. So guys, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And we will see you September 24th, 25th, and 26th.
Thanks
Denver,
so much for having us. We can't wait to see you guys in person at the summit.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.